Part of us doing this video to me is I can almost 100% guarantee that over half the people that read whatever title we put it won't watch the entire video to understand what it is that I am trying to understand when it comes to these bands that replace their vocalists.
Based on past experiences.
I enjoy bands for what they are when I hear them. And when they change vocalists, it is a rare moment that I accept the new singer.
Yeah.
And it happens, but it's rare that I accept the new singer because there's only two roads you can go down. You can either go out and find an absolute mimic, which we're going to delve further into as we continue down this. We've already done Alice in Chains. Yeah,
He sounds just like Lane.
Or did they find a new vocalist? For example, Van Halen. This is going to be something we're going to be working towards, is understanding the differences in what we don't like and do like from these bands. And tonight we're doing Queensryche, which is, it's in my top 3 favorite bands of all time.
Same.
All time. I mean, I'm devoted Queensryche fan. I'm a devoted Jeff Tate fan. You know, Krista Garmo, Scott Rockenfeld. You know, I love these guys. But to me, Queensryche is a shell of what it once was. And it's not a slight on Todd. It's more that the music began to change, and I didn't like the direction that it was going. Basically, from the Promised Land onward, it just kind of got a little more popish, a little more, I don't know, digestible. It just fell out of favor for me. And that's a shame.
It wasn't Mind Crime anymore.
No, and I mean, I started early. I think the first time I heard Queensryche, I was young, and I heard the intro to it always stuck in my head. I didn't know who they were. I just heard that it was like in a movie. And when Rage for Order came out, I saw it and I bought it. And I loved it. And I thought that's what Queensryche sounded like until I went and bought the previous 2 albums. And then I realized that they kind of changed their sound on each of these albums, and I loved each one of them equally for the sound that they created. First album was very heavy, very metal, Queen of the Reich. And then their second album, they went more prog, got a little more progressive, but Jeff Tate was crushing it. All the music, everything they played, Tate drove the song. And then Rage for Order came out, and it was almost like it was trying to be futuristic. As you walk this body and opened up your eyes. Then they released the gem that is Operation Mindcrime, which put them on the map. And I raise my head and stare into the eyes of a stranger. We blew that CD up. I mean, it rarely left the CD player when we were out, driving around getting into trouble. And then they put out Empire, and I loved Empire. And it was different than Mindcrime. I really wanted a Mindcrime 3, but you know what? I was happy with Empire. There was some good stuff, Jesse. Then came The Decline. They put out The Promised Land, and I bought that one, excited. I've loved every change they've done. And that one I did not love. I did not like that album even remotely, not even a little. I can't think of a song, a redeeming song on that album cannot come to mind. And that's just me. You guys may go, oh, it's their best album. You're wrong, but you can feel that.
You can have that opinion.
You can have that opinion. You are welcome to it. It's a free country. You're wrong, but it's a free country. So then they put out the next album, and that did it for me.
Here in the Now Frontier.
Yes.
Yes, that was like my very first album, and I loved it.
Oh.
Apparently I'm wrong, but
it was like you couldn't get any cheesier than the previous album. It's like they tried to out-cheese the previous cheese.
it was the vibe album. Man, it was vibey.
I was done. And so was Chris DeGarmo. So shortly after that album came out, Chris DeGarmo was like, you know what, I'd rather fly airplanes.
Bye.
I'm thinking airplanes sound pretty good right now. We tour a lot, I'm on them all the time, I might as well fly the damn thing, y'all. Deuces. So I fell off of listening to their album. This is before, internet wasn't huge back when all this was going on, so you didn't hear all these stories, but you hear later on that Jeff and his wife just kind of put things into overdrive on the bands. You could tell in their music. I mean, everything I heard was like, that's not Queensrÿche. Well, then they reformed. Well, I don't even say reformed. They replaced not only Chris DeGarmo, and the guy that replaced him, Parker, I think his name, he's very good. He was great. So I have no problem with Parker. He's not Scott Rockenfeld, who wrote most of the Queensrÿche music. And you can definitely tell. I don't know who wrote.
DeGarmo wrote most of their music.
DeGarmo, yes, I'm thinking Scott's the drummer. Scott didn't bounce until later. They replaced Jeff Tate as well. We also found a third wild card from a band called Empire. They're a tribute band. So I want to compare Jeff Tate and Todd Latour and this wild card from this band Empire to see whether Todd or this other guy have Jeff Tate down better. And we're going to do it with Take Hold of the Flame, which you all want to hear anyway. And I'm almost sure all three of them are going to pull it off. I know Jeff does, so I can rule that one out, but I know the other two are probably going to pull it off as well. But I want to hear the cadence of the intro of the song. When the verse begins, I want to hear that. I want to hear who sounds most like Jeff. That's kind of the point of the video. See how things could be if things were to change. Let's do this. And he was so theatrical too, Jeff. You could like see him holding an apple, singing to it.
Already got chills.
I always love Rock's beat right here. And he goes, doo, doo. So there's Tate.
I love him.
Effortless though. I mean, he was such an effortless vocalist. I say was like he's dead. But, yeah, I mean, I was fortunate enough to sit in on an interview with Jeff, and that's one of my heroes. That's my idol. So thank you, Jamie Josta, for allowing me to take part in, and ask Jeff Tate questions. It was very cool. So we move forward now. We're now going to go to Todd Latour and hear what he sounds like. Let's do this. Noticeable difference.
Got the right tone though, and like the same kind of whine. Ooh,
he sounds rough here. That might sound a bad video for poor Todd.
Poor Todd. That was kind of flat.
I've heard better Todd. You better do the drums right, new drummer. Even the drummer don't have it.
Sorry, Todd, we done did you dirty.
That was cringe. Summer Breeze. Yeah, I bet he'd go, hey, I remember that time at Summer Breeze. Ooh.
Well, it was a rough night, rough day.
Well, in Todd's defense, I was at Rockville in Jacksonville, and this was, I think, in 2015 or 2016. I can't recall, but it was in Jacksonville, Florida. And they had a tornado, and we all had to go hide under a bridge for like 2 hours. And when everything cleared up and they finally let us into the venue, all the bands on the sheet that we got for the first day were just, it was trash. Nobody was ready. So we had about an hour delay once they got everything back up and running. And the band Devil Wears Prada was the band I wanted to go see. I wanted to go see those guys. So I went to their stage and we were waiting, me and the people I was with. And they ended up saying, well,
Devil Wears Prada's equipment was destroyed.
It was just, they already had it set up when the tornado hit and the rains hit, and it just trashed all of their equipment. So they moved all their equipment out. So then we had to watch them unload all the equipment, and they found the band Nothing More because they were parked nearby because they were about to go on a tour with Of Mice and Men. They weren't even slated to play the festival, but because their gear was there and they were ready, they put them up on the stage.
Why would you want to see Devil Wears Prada? You hate them.
No, I hate them now. Back then, they were badasses. They were tough. They used to be tough. Wouldn't have been my first choice because my first choice would have been Queensryche had I known Todd sounded as good as he did, but I could hear them over the hill behind us while we waited on Nothing More to set up. And it almost sounded like it was being played over the PA. Like they just put in a Queensryche disc and started playing. I think they were playing Warning. In Todd's defense, he is a mimic. He does sound a lot like Jeff. This particular clip was
There are bad days for everybody.
Was not good. Summer Breeze was not the place to do this, Todd. And he could have been under the weather. So I hate to judge this on Todd. So we're going to give Todd a mulligan on this. All right, let's check out Josh King from the band Empire, which is a tribute band to Queensryche. Let's do this. Already better cadence. Bye.
Kind of high.
That wasn't bad.
Oh, he had that wine in there.
Let's watch that vein on the forehead. You.
Look at the keyboardist.
Yeah.
He likes this song.
Why are the drummers not getting that part right? Well, automatically better than Todd's. And
Sorry, Todd. It's just a bad day, man.
yeah, you knew they were recording. So I mean, I can only give you so much leeway on this one. There's another mimic. If you played all three of them with me blindfolded, easily I could pick out Jeff.
Yeah.
Very easily I would know which one is Jeff. This guy was closer. And if you find a good, compilation of Todd, somewhere not like Bloodstock or Vakken or something like that, you might find one that he rivals this guy. This guy's good, and Jeff Tate is not easy to mimic.
No.
That is a hard one to mimic. Kudos to both of them for even being able to get in that register and stay in there. It's just, not Queensryche without Jeff Tate. And I think that's part of why I do these videos, is to listen, to see. Did you make the right call if you went the route of a mimic? How good is your mimic? Is it as good as Arnel Pineda and Journey? Because that's a perfect mimic.
That's perfect mimic.
Even Ripper Owens and Priest, to an extent, I could tell the difference between Halford and Ripper, but it wasn't by much. If Ripper was on point, you could close your eyes and it'd be very difficult to tell. I can tell all three of these, but I'm a Queensryche fanatic.
Yeah, I mean,
I know Tate's voice. I mean, you're not going to fool me on anybody. You can find the best mimic you can. When I say mimic, go back and watch our Alice in Chains and watch that kid Brandon that did Lane. That was a full-on mimic. That could fool me if I had my eyes closed and heard the tube.
It did fool us, like twice now.
I mean, he is a literal mimic. And there's a lot of them out there, and we're going to delve further and further into all of these bands that have replaced their vocalists to determine, did they find a mimic or did they find a new vocalist? Did they pull the Van Halen route where they went, doesn't have to sound like Dave, we get the Red Rocket, we're going to get Sammy Hagar. Did they go that route, the Ronnie James Dio Black Sabbath route, or did they go the mimic route? And this one clearly mimic. Did it work? And that's really the question. So get in the comments and just let us know, did it work? Did Queensryche stand the test of time with a new vocalist? I don't care if the money's there from album sales. Everybody's album sales have gone down, but how are their shows? Are they still selling out arenas? Are they selling out casinos, bars? What are they doing? Because there are some bands that replace their vocalist and they're still playing arenas.
Yeah.
And it's very, very tough to do. Much easier to replace anyone else in the band.
Yeah.
Anyone else.
But the front man is the face.
Yeah.
Like
Van Halen continued to play in arenas. Black Sabbath continued to play in arenas. Skid Row plays casinos and fairs. Did they replace him, and do you feel comfortable with the replacement? So get in the comments, let us know what you think about all of this, and give some suggestions on other bands we can do, because there may be some out there that we might not even know the vocalist got replaced. We'll be happy to check it out.
Yeah, hit us up.
Like, share,
Subscribe.
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 Come on, man.
There's like 90% of you that have not subscribed that keeps coming back.
If you made it this far into this video, we've earned your subscribe, so don't be a holdout.
Go ahead, try there.
I want it. Come on, give me it. Give me it. Give me it. Come on, give me it. I'm sorry. Please. Please.
Well, Leslie, he does make a compelling argument.
We've earned it. Click the bell. Wait when something comes out.
You won't miss it.
You'll know we're coming. So guys, until the next time. Come at me, bro.